If you don't know us, I'm Eliezer.
And I'm Edda.
And we used to travel the world for 10 years, and now we live in Portugal building our own house. Let's go to the video. That's perfect. Well, our trailer is now 100% leveled. We tried to level before the previous episode, but that wasn't very good. The wheels weren't touching the ground and all the weight was on top of the supporting legs. So today we bought some concrete slabs, and these two axes are supporting the 100% of the way with the concrete slabs underneath the wheels. And these four legs are here just to make it more stable. They are not actually holding the trailer, which is perfect. Everything's secure, nothing is moving, and we're ready for the next step.
Hey, this was actually way harder to find aluminium sheathing than we expected, but we found it after basically searching the whole day yesterday. Okay. I was really expecting to find these type of metal sheets really easy. I thought you could just find them in, so in Portugal we have Leroy Merlin, Brick Depot, but it was actually, we had to go to a certain manufacturer. But we found them. So now we have 0.6 and we're going to put it on top of the trailer to then put the wooden frame, insulate and subfloor.
We got 11 of these aluminum sheets. The prices I'll share in the end of the video, the prices of everything that we're spending on this video. And we're gonna put through all the trailer to the end, but there is a way. You don't just screw to the trailer itself. There's a way of doing this, so let's start and we'll show you the way.
So we're gonna fix the aluminium sheets to the trailer using this glue. This is like glue everything, kind of really super strong glue. And then on top we've just got these metal screws that we're gonna fix on top. So then everything's secure. And then afterwards we're gonna overlay. I've got some of this, I was trying to find rubber gasket, but I couldn't find any. So we just found the closest to, which is, this is meant for windows, but we'll also do the same thing when we want to overlay the metal sheets. Because in the middle we're gonna have to cut it. But let's crack on.
Oh, we're living and learning. I was trying to screw with this bit that's made for wood, but actually what I need is this one, made from metal. This tiny bit here at the end makes the whole difference. I changed the bit again. I think it's this one, that's for metal. Living and learning. And one thing I'm realizing about this project and also life is that planning is everything. After this step of these aluminum sheets, we need to start putting the wooden frame. But because we didn't plan before how we would gonna put the wooden frame and how many pieces of wood we would need, now we are like in a delay of 3-4 days waiting for the wood guy to cut the wood and deliver it to us. So lack of planning got us late like 3 days. At least we're gonna learn that planning is everything now. It's the most important thing in this project. And that's exactly why this video was delayed. We're trying to post every week here on this channel, but due to our lack of planning, the wood took longer to arrive, which delayed this video.
So now for the overlay of the aluminium, I'm going to put down this rubber gasket thing. It's quite thick, but I couldn't find anything thinner. So it's actually for windows, but doesn't matter, it will do the job. And I'm just going to put that on both sides, and then we can put on the other aluminium sheet. Elias is just in the back getting ready to cut.
This rubber is mainly for protecting the metal sheet because we'll be stacking them on top of each other in some areas. We've been researching how to build this tiny house in 3 ways: watching YouTube videos, asking ChatGPT, and consulting Edda's mom and her partner Bogdan, who are also building a house. It's incredible how much information you can find on the internet. First part is done. I like it, but some parts, like this one, because we put that material there, it's like overlaying this. But we're gonna do better for the next ones.
Yeah.
And look at that, it's raining.
It's raining. This is the main purpose as to why we decided to build this pergola. So now we can still continue
Yes.
the trailer without any issues
No issues.
of being in the rain.
Because we
So
have
nice.
All of this.
So nice.
Even the dog's protected. Good boy. Let's continue.
For those who have just got here, we're building a tiny house. It's basically a 30 square meter house, but it has everything that you need. Since it's so small and built on a trailer, it doesn't require permits or approvals for construction. You can build it yourself and make a dream of owning your own home come true.
After 2 hours, it's done. I like it, but it could be better. But no one will see this structure anyway. This is just for protect from anything that comes from underneath. I think we did a good job. Yeah, like I said, we did in around 2 hours. It is cleaning right now because the rain is not hitting the structure directly, but hits a few meters. As the rain hits the floor, it splashes dirt to the trailer. So we're just cleaning before the next step. So now, the next step. For this next step, we did some more detailed planning. We had to draw stuff because we can't do any mistakes. So we want to do a wooden frame exactly on top of the trailer frame. We're going to do on 2x4s, then we put the insulation and then OSB. Looks simple, but let's see, let's have a look. The wood that got delayed due to our lack of planning are the 4x2s. Here in Portugal, they don't really have those standard measurements for wood, like we do in England or in the USA, which is normally a 4x2. But we found a guy that can cut us our 4x2s, so that's what we're using for all of the build. Since Elias had already calculated all the measurements on paper, making these cuts was actually pretty easy. But before placing the wood in position, we wanted to sandwich in a thermal barrier between the 4x2s and the metal sheathing. So for our thermal barrier, we used this thick plastic tarp that we already had laying around. Metal transfers temperatures very easily, and wood expands and contracts depending on temperature. So if the wood comes into direct contact with the metal, it can expand or contract depending on the temperature. By placing this thermal barrier between the wood and the steel sheet, we're preventing it from expanding too much. And that's what I love about this process. These little details make building our own house so much fun, and we're learning so much in the process. Okay, so the first frame is done. That was, it took a little bit more time because we wanted to make sure that we're doing this very exact. So obviously we have our thermal barrier so the wood isn't touching the metal. It's just this thick plastic sheet. I originally wanted to staple it to the wood, but I've just checked with Bogdan, who is our construction guru, and he said that if we staple down the sheet, there's a possibility that water can come in and that will create a pocket, and then obviously that will rot the wood. Yes.
So you don't even realise this kind of things. Like I thought, oh, obviously we're going to staple it, make sure it's secure. I thought the water would come down on the side, but he said don't do that. And it's really important to know these things.
Yes. When we're building, we are understanding now that water can get to everywhere.
Yeah, water can enter in any nook and
anywhere. Yeah. So we need to think about water all the time.
Yeah, and another thing we have to do before is just make our holes in the sheathing so water
can go, can escape
as well. So.
And also one thing that we realized when we're doing the frame, because the wood is not exact 5 centimeters, this wood is a 5 by 10, but this 5 is not exact. It's like always 5.1 or something, and it's overhanging like a few millimeters. We thought there would be a problem, but actually it's not. So yeah, we're fine. Now we just done the first one. Let's do the second because we divided by 3 frames, right?
Yeah, they're in 3 sections. So let's do
sections.
The second one now that we've kind of got a hang of it. And after, I think it will probably be time to head home. But look, it's like a massive umbrella.
Yes.
Our pergola is working so well. It's raining pretty heavy, and I've tied it down proper. It's not broken. It's not moved.
I love it, and the feeling to be here under the umbrella, the big umbrella with this noise. I love it.
It's quite nice, isn't it? ASMR.
Let's go. This time we work late into the night. Even though the days are getting longer, it's really nice living here in northern Portugal because you can actually see the seasons change. Since I'm from Brazil, this isn't something I was used to. But here in the winter, the sun sets at 5 p.m. and in the summer it sets at 9 p.m. Another thing is that we're in spring now and summer is just around the corner. Since last summer there were wildfires all over Portugal, we decided to hire 2 guys to help clear out the land while we work on the tiny house. From up here you can already see the progress they're making. They're cleaning out this entire upper area.
Back for day 2, we have already positioned the second frame. So we drilled this one in. We didn't have enough of the right screws to drill in the second frame, but everything's positioned, measured out. It's all ready to go. So we're gonna drill this one in, do the other one, the other frame, and then we can add the insulation, the OSB flooring. Jobs are good, and then we'll have a tiny house floor.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Get to work. I'm in a really good mood today.
Yes.
The sun's kind of shining, half and half. It's a bit cloudy, but it's a bit sunny. We got here early. We've got good food. We've got good lunch.
And we're ready.
We're ready. It's gonna be a great day.
Yes, and remember guys, that all the expenses, like today we bought some more screws, like these ones. Yeah, all the costs, all the prices will be at the end, because we want to build this tiny house for less than 30,000 euros. So let's crack on.
I think maybe tomorrow or in the next coming days, we're going to invest in a nail gun, because it's really expensive screwing everything in with normal screws, and we see in all of the videos everybody has a nail gun. So I think what we're gonna do is that, because we've got all the walls to put up and it's just a lot cheaper and still makes it really strong. So, but for now we're just using these screws. These are good screws. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Guys, remember on the past videos we had an old vehicle here. It was an old vintage Fiat Sport car that was parked here. The car was from the ex-owner of the land, that he left us here the car, and he didn't tell us, oh, I'm gonna give you the car, or the car is mine. But the car was here, it was no problem. And everyone in the comments and everyone that was coming here in the land, they see the car and they say, oh, that's a nice car. If you make a good work on this car, it's worth some good money. It's a nice vintage car. Every single person that comes to the land used to say this kind of things, until one day, one guy came. This guy was supposed to come here to help us with the road here that goes down. He also did the same comments, but I was used to this comment. Oh, it's a nice car. And he did it like a joke, like, I can make the work for you in exchange for the car. And I took it as a joke. Like funny, like I didn't say no, but I should have said no, even though it was a joke. Because on the next day, we came to the land and the car was not here anymore. We immediately called the owner of the land here, the ex-owner of the land, to see if it was him that took the car. He said, no, oh my God, someone stole the car. And then we saw that the guy had left his digger here. So I say, okay, no one will steal the car, but leave the digger in here. So we thought that was the road guy. We called him and say, oh, look, is this digger yours? Did you take the car? And say, yes, I took the car. It's in my garage, it's in my house. It's like the car is mine. I told him, no, look, the car is not even mine. It's not for you to take. You can't come to my land. And he said, no, we agreed I was gonna do you the job, the road in exchange for the car. And I was like, no, I never told you that. And anyway, I called the ex-owner because the car is his, in his name. And he said, no, I'm gonna call him and see about the situation. But the guy left his digger here for over a month and didn't even do the work. So he came to our land, he didn't do the work, and he stole our vintage car. I don't know what to say about this, but that's really makes me angry. That made me angry for a couple of days. It took me a while to tell you this in the camera. Yeah, that's the funny story of today that happened here in the land. Let's continue the work. Oh, I'm gonna get angry again. And it rains again. There's something that we did wrong about this pergola. When it's raining, a lot of rain comes from this side. So all of this gets wet. So in order to finish the last frame, we're gonna try to clamp this tarp all the way from there to here.
Come on, let's go. We need to go now. Give it a clamp. Try and get as high as you can.
Here's good. Little bit of English culture here. While we're working, what do we want to listen to?
No, we listen to a lot of minimal techno, because it's just that classic. It's just that classic rhythm that just gets you into the zone.
Yes.
In Brazil, there's not really a lot of minimal techno.
No, but I love it.
Yeah.
To work is perfect.
One step I've got to do before lunch is that I'm going to drill a small hole into each of the sections where we're going to have our insulation, because if there is condensation trapped water, there's going to be somewhere for it to go. Anyway, Eliezer was just double screwing the ones in the middle, so that's all secured in. I'm going to do this and then we're probably going to have some lunch because I'm hungry.
And here for the last ones, for the last screws, I am screwing the frames together because we separated in 3 frames and they need to be together. So I'm putting 4 screws on each side from really making them the same one. And I'm alternating like one here, another here, one here, another there. It's nearly done. With these last screws, the frame is finished and ready for installation.
Okay, so now I'm going to start putting in our insulation. We've got these 5mm boards, but we're going to do 10mm insulation. So we're going to stack one on top of each other. So I'm going to have to cut these, slot these in, and yeah, let's get a move on. Also, what I have is the foam just to fill the gaps. Normally, people build the floor frame based on the size of the insulation so they don't have to cut it. But since we wanted to align the wooden frame exactly with the trailer frame, which is spaced every 56 centimeters, we had to cut our insulation.
We had a problem, but we found solution. Buildings there is all about finding solutions. So we just built the wooden frame, but it's not attached, it's not, it's just on top, but we need something really good to attach it to the trailer frame. Screws are not enough, but we're using bolts that are very good. These bolts are 12mm. We're gonna cut and go all the way through and attach the frame, the wooden frame, to the trailer frame. But the problem was, we couldn't find a bit that's long enough to pass through 10 centimeters here and 6 centimeters of the trailer frame, which is total 16 centimeters. It was really hard to find, but today we found a 19 centimeters bit that can go all the way through there. And as it is going to continue with the installation, I will bolt this frame down and everything will be secured in place.
So we've already done the first hole just to test that it's gone through, and it's gone through really nice. So let's secure this frame.
Yes. Basically, I drill a hole through the frame all the way to the other side. Then I use this 28mm spade bit to create a recess for the nut. After that, I cut the threaded bolts with the angle grinder, inserted it through both sides and tightened it. The bolt we're using is 12mm, which is strong enough to hold the frame in place. Meanwhile, Ida was fitting the insulation, and the structure was already looking incredibly professional. I'm seriously impressed with us. Right, work is almost done. Eda is doing the whole installation herself, and I'm doing the bolts. It's looking very professional. I think just like half an hour more and we're done. What I'm doing while she's doing the installation, I'm measuring every 80 centimeters to put more holes for bolts, but these ones are for the walls. When we put the walls, we're gonna add another 5 centimeters and our drill bit won't go through. So I'll make sure I make the hole first, and then when we put the walls, I'll just make another hole here to connect everything. So, almost done.
the floor is looking so good. We've finished the insulation. The only thing that I'm going to do now is just fill in the little gaps that are left with this foam mousse. And then, yeah, and then we can just bolt down the rest of the holes and come back another day to put down to install our OSB boards. So, yeah, I'm really happy with how it's looking. It's looking so good. I like to see the progress. You know, when you start seeing progress, it starts getting more satisfying. So, yeah, I'm getting this done.
And that's it. After applying the foam, this part of the frame and insulation is done. Now all that's left is to install the OSB panels and the wall frames. And little by little, it will start looking like a real house.
So that is it for this episode. We have been working. This episode started off with us leveling the wheels of the trailer, and now we've got insulation. It's spray foamed in. Bozo loves it, don't you? Okay, so that's everything for this episode, but before you go, here is our cost breakdown. Aluminium sheets, €198. Rubber gasket for the aluminium sheets was €12. Expanding foam, €11. Construction adhesive, €15. A chain for the trailer for security purposes was €24. Screws, €60. Insulation, €288. Wood, €230. Steel rod, nuts and washers in total was €24.40. So that makes this week's total €862.90. So that makes the grand total €7,265.90. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.